think today I'm going to start on the teardown of the F100. I'm going to go ahead and replace those heads on it. That way those heads don't end up just sitting there ruining. So, if I remember right, you can take a couple bolts loose here, some up at the top, take the hood off, take the bumper off, and then you can take this entire front clip off all as one piece. So I'm going to start working on getting everything loose and then getting somebody over here to help me do that. But truck doesn't run quite right. I have extra heads. I don't want them to rust. They're already kind of dirty. If I just leave them sitting here, they're going to end up ruining. Might as well replace them. Have both of them. That way it'll basically be a new top end for the truck. And we won't have to worry about it. It should run good and everything. I don't know exactly how good I'm going to be able to film while doing this because it's just me and I don't have an actual tripod. But I'll try and get what I can. Done a little more looking around. There's 2 bolts right there. These bolts right here. And of course taking solenoid, battery, voltage regulator. Whatever the hell that goo box is that always leaks. I forget what it's called. And do the same thing on the other side. And then you got a fender bolt down here. And does it not have any in here? I guess it don't. It's been a while since I took one apart. Once we have that stuff took apart, I believe we can leave the hood on and everything. Just take it all as one big piece. We gotta do the core support. Let me get around here to where I can. Down here, got one on each side of the frame. And of course, taking stuff like your air conditioner lines and all that. Getting everything ran through. So, I'm gonna go ahead and start on taking some of these bolts out, see how many I break and stuff. Take like the voltage regulators and all that wiring related stuff out. Once you got the battery out, I'm gonna take the solenoid loose. And then I don't know what this is, but take it loose too. It's a bolt on this side and on this side. Mine are 10mm or 10mm is working, so that's what I'm using. Get both those pulled off, pull them over here towards the engine bay, and then go through. All these are loose. Make sure all your wiring's not connected anymore. And then, as you can see, there's a Phillips down there. Probably another 10 or something right here. And then go to the other side. We'll do the same thing over there. Just get all that wiring and stuff off of it. And then we can start taking these bolts loose. Eventually you'll have to get the radiator and all that off of the core support. Because you're going to take core support, grill, both fenders, inner fenders. And depending on how heavy it is, you might have to take the hood off and then pull everything else off. But if you got 2 people that can do it, you can take the hood off with it. Everything can go as one big giant piece. Makes it a lot easier for disassembly and reassembly. When you have everything loose off your fenders, all the wiring stuff on both sides, just take everything loose, set it over on the engine. Down in here next to the radiator, right down there, you can barely see it. There's a bolt head. And then down here under the frame, there's this. So you put a wrench on this, get your extension, go down there to that bolt, And that's how you take the core support loose. There's one on each side of the radiator. Take those two loose, then I believe the front end is ready to come up whenever you want it to. Of course, you'll have to take your radiator hoses loose, stuff like that. But all these AC lines, they're not actually hooked up, so they shouldn't have to come off, I don't think. Should be able to just drag it all with it. So that's less work there. Everything's loose over here. Once we have the core support loose, take these bolts loose, those bolts loose, and the fender bolt down here, and I believe it's ready to come off. So we'll go ahead and get this loose. A lot of times, like on my other truck, the bolt broke. Luckily I had a spare truck and I was able to rob it off there. I have this one, but it's kind of already like complete, so I don't want to have to rob parts off it. But if I need to, I can go to the parts store and get new bolts for it. Once this part's off, we can get in here all the way into the engine bay. Makes it super easy. We can change out the headers, tear everything apart, change the heads out, paint the motor, make everything look good in here. And while we have all this off, I can sand all of it down and paint it all and make it look better too. And we get to the frame and touch up the frame and everything. I've got the nuts off the bottom of this core support mount, and I use channel locks down here on the bottom and an impact with the big extension and the 5/8. Then I took that ratchet and drove the bolts up through. Now I should be able to pull them up out of here if I can get my hand in there. Everything is rusty and crunchy. It's gonna fight me. I gotta fight the body mounts too, but here's your bolt. This does have a body lift on it, so yours may not be as long. So that's one thing. If you see that difference, don't worry too much about it. But where all that stuff piles up down there, these bolts are bad about nearly rusted in half. And you can see this one, if it'll focus. If I can get it to focus or not. You can kind of see it where it's pitting and everything, even though it won't focus all that good. But take both of those out, and then it's on to the cab side of everything. This should be ready to lift up out from behind the bumper. I'm gonna try and do it without taking the bumper off, because the angle that these bolts are at is going to be a pain in the ass. So if I can avoid it, I'm gonna avoid it, and should be able to get this past here, hopefully. If I can't, then I'll take the bumper off. But once I have these body mounts loose, or body bolts loose, should be able to drain the radiator, and this thing should be ready to lift up off here. Next thing we're going to tackle is these two bolts under here. Just take them loose from here. I'll put a 12 point on it, and it turned it loose. So maybe that's the size, maybe it's not. It's working, so I'm going to take them off. It's starting to sprinkle, so I might have to be done for now. Go get me some lunch or something, come back, see if it's raining any harder or not. But it's going to be hard to record because I don't want to get my camera wet. Got these 3 bolts out. 2 bolts down there. I got the one for the fender down here. Got the 2 out up here for the core support. 3 over here, 2 over here, 1 down here. All the electronics are taken off. Got to do the radiator, drain it, unhook the hoses from the motor and all that. And then, in theory, this whole front end should be ready to lift off as long as we can get past the bumper. If I can't get past the bumper, I might have to take the bumper off. It's going to be a pain in the ass to do that. So we'll see how that goes. I'm definitely not going to be able to lift this entire thing off by myself. So for one, I got to get somebody over here to help me before I can even see if I still have to take stuff loose. But I'm pretty sure that's all the bolts I have to take loose. So next time I pick up, should be trying to pull this whole front end off. If not, I may try it before picking up the camera and then seeing if it's still snagged on anything. That way y'all know what else to take apart. Back from lunch, the rain had decided to quit. There is one more bolt. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but my finger is currently touching it. It's for the fender. It's in the second hole down in the door. It's to the side right here. So take that loose. There's one on the other side. Then I'm gonna attempt to wiggle this thing around, see if I can get it myself or not. And if I can't, I'll have some people come over. Once that's done, everything from this fender up to the bumper is gonna come off. And then I'll make it to where I can get in here to the motor and work on everything so much easier. And it's maybe 15 bolts altogether to make that happen, so it's definitely worth your time to do this if you have an extra set of hands to help you. Well, a few hours later, finally got this off. I ended up having some people come over and they helped me lift it off, but now y'all can see why I would want it off there. You can get in here so much easier to work on everything instead of having to go up over the top of that and lay down on that core support. Anyone that has one of these trucks knows how it feels having that core support on their chest. It is not fun. Hurts like hell the whole time. I can get in here, clean the frame up, clean everything up, clean the firewall up, get over here, clean the inner fenders up, paint everything, make it look nice. A lot easier than if I was to leave that on. And as y'all seen how many bolts it was, it's really not that bad to do it, so I'd highly recommend it. The other thing is both of these header or the manifolds are cracked, and the guy gave me a set of headers for it. That'll be so much easier to change being able to be down here at it than trying to lean over into it. So right here is probably going to be the stopping point for today. I am also working on my cat eye. Over here I got a racer wheel going, trying to get all this off where I debadged it, trying to get it cleaned up. I replaced that door because it had a dent. Here is the old one. I already popped most of the dent out. It was all caved in over here too. I'm gonna try and see if I can get that out too. All these scratches though, I don't know what I'd be able to do about it. They may be buffable. I doubt it. Tailgate is replaced. New handle and everything. Got to debadge it. Well, it's already debadged, so I gotta clean it. And this bumper used to be pushed in up like that. I've had it replaced too. We'll have to do some touching up on the paint here on the corner. There's this dent in here, but it's not that noticeable, so I may not mess with it. This side is pretty good, no dents in it. And of course, typical somebody pressing their elbow against it while trying to get something out of it, dents in the bedside. So that's probably going to be the end of this video. Just getting the core support off, or the core support, the whole front clip off of the truck. We was able to do it with the bumper on it, but where the valance is down here at the corner, it did get bent to be able to make it go up, but it's just the valence, and it's hidden when it's actually behind the bumper, and it's flimsy enough to bend back into place once I have it on, so I didn't really care. So next video is going to be the teardown of everything. I've never really done motor work, but I can watch a YouTube video, try my hand at it, get the heads replaced, put headers on it. In the process of doing that, clean the motor up, repaint the motor, clean the frame up, all that good stuff. Throw everything back together, paint the firewall, and then we can go back together with the front clip, and it'll basically be a new top end for the motor. So should run pretty good, be a good strong truck. Should do good for pulling. It's got everything was done right whenever the person swapped the front axle, so I'm pretty confident in its ability to be able to pull and not fall in half like the other one over there. It was cut down to a short bed from a long bed. It's got a 390 motor in it and a C6. It would be good for pulling at least like medium weight stuff, but judging off weld in the bed and that I could see daylight through the frame where they welded it, I don't want this thing to pull in half, so I don't ever pull with it. But as you can see, headlights, everything's still together. Comes right off. Well, comes right off. Had to pry it, had to have 3 people to do it, but it's a lot easier to work on it once you have all that extra crap out of the way. So tune in for the next video when I'm actually working on this.